Spaniards, they named it Tacloban. This first appeared in the journals of Spanish friars 1600s hanggang sa naging official siya mid-1700s po. And to our left, ladies, gentlemen, this is Pamunuan San Dalawigan sa Leyte, or the provincial capital building of the province of Leyte. This is the old capital. This is the location of the declaration of General Douglas MacArthur that he has now returned to the Philippines to begin the liberation from the Japanese occupation and to end World War II. This is also the location kung saan na-reinstitute ang buong civil government of the Republic of the Philippines by the swearing in or taking oath of President Sergio Osmeña as the instituted President of the Commonwealth Republic, and Governor Colonel Ruperto Pangilion, the leader of the Filipino guerrilla forces who fought the Japanese and fought side by side also with General Douglas MacArthur to liberate Leyte and the rest of the Philippine archipelago. Because of this building is the only building in the entire Philippine archipelago sa buong Pilipinas po na nag-serve siya as Malacanang with a living and sitting president inside. Because the time of liberation between 1944 and 1945, eto po, ang Malacanang ni President Sergio Osmeña, because hindi pa po liberated ang Manila and Malacanang in Manila during that time. Because of that, siya ang kaisa-isang Malacanang sa labas ng nasa Manila sa buong kasaysayan ng Pilipinas na nag-serve with a sitting and living president. Once again, that is Pamunuan San Dalawigan sa Leyte, or the provincial capital building of the province of Leyte.
Provincial capital pa rin po siya.
As of now, abandoned na po siya because in 2018 and 2019, ano po siya, ginabahan siya ng series of earthquakes up to magnitude 7 na nag-team po na hindi na siya structurally safe inside, sa labas na lang. Lumipat na po ang capital sa Palo, but as of now, under renovation po siya to be transformed as the official National Museum of the Philippines in Eastern Visayas. Kasi po, isa siya sa pinaka-historical buildings natin, hindi po siya pwedeng sirain. And because of that, balikan natin yung tanong kanina kung nasaan ako. Last na po ito, pabalik na po tayo ng summit. Balikan natin yung tanong kung nasaan po ako during the time of Super Typhoon Yolanda. During the time of Super Typhoon Yolanda, I was stranded in the island province of Biliran, specifically sa Kaibiran, Biliran, because during that time, I'm also serving as a youth missionary for the Roman Catholic Church. Doon po ako naka-assign as a youth missionary nung time na yon, coincidentally, to teach about environmental preservation bago pa mag-Yolanda. Sabi ko kay Lord, parang may gustong sabihin si Lord. So yun, na-stranded po ako for more than a month doon. Yung last known location ko to my family was in the city of Ormoc, because during that time I was also teaching college nung time na yon. At dahil akala nila nakauwi ako ng Tacloban at yung bahay ko dito sa Tacloban ay malapit sa port area, katabi ng Ocho Grill, lahat po kasi ng area na yon ay na-destroy at maraming death doon. So yung ginawa ng family ko, dineclare po tayo na one of the missing people to the government. Opo, dineclare po ako na missing people to the government. Nung nakabalik na po ako dito, nasa Cebu na yung buong pamilya ko. So, diretso po ako sa Cebu para mag-evacuate. At yung reaction nila, nung una nila akong nakita ay buhay pa po pala kayo. So, ayun po. Because of that, hindi namin masyado pinansin na yun yung nangyari. Pero alam namin na they have declared me as one of the missing people. Bumalik ako ng Tacloban para mag-serve sa NGOs to help in the recovery through psychosocial interventions. Pero pinabayaan ko na yun. Naalala ko lang siya ulit last year, 10th year commemoration ko last year. Super Typhoon Yolanda kasi isa sa mga partner organizations po natin, yung Greenpeace Philippines nagtanong kung ano yung kwento ko ng Yolanda na hindi pa masyadong